Yo, what's up, man? It's Julius Collins, the co-host of the hottest podcast in the land. It needed to be said with Tyreek Hill, man. Look, I just got to Tyreek Hill's house, man. The cheetah, little bro, the GOAT, number 10. And today is the season finale. We appreciate you guys rocking with us. We appreciate you guys believing in us. We also going to give you some more scoop on what we learned thus far, the do's, the don'ts, the wills, the won'ts. But we're going to keep bringing you guys bangers, man. I'm out.
Always gonna wait until you in the mood. I been running, keep on gunning.
All right, we about to head out. Finna go get in the van. We about to go make this movie.
Y'all get ready for the season finale, man.
Every day I'm on the earth till they put me in the dirt. I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it first. Until they put me in the dirt. Said I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it. That's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. I can't break. That's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. You cannot stop me. I mean the spinach and broccoli. Termination like I'm Rocky. Lift the heavy, no spot, please. Body bag of beating in, I get away scotch free. And I'ma take control, unbreakable. I sense the face, the shakes is cold, the grace is more. Plus it's really the motivation, so it's thank you so. Point that's on my neck, hard work on my brain. The easy road taking the left, it's on my chest. No time for regrets. Faith in the Jimmy like Steph. Shooting is wet like clay. The party ain't maybe this way. I'm taking all of this left to the bank. I'ma deposit and see what it make. Shoot is shooting, so it's reap. I paid a meter, I came in with Peter like Peter on water. I'm stepping in deeper, they know that I'm coming like.
Guys, I just gotta say, yeah, we came a long way before we even get started, man. Team, I gotta get the hand clap for the team. I just look at y'all.
Everybody quiet on set once again. 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's up, man? It's Tyreek Hill, aka the Cheetah, known as the fastest in the land, also the best looking in the land. I got my co-host here, Julius. Julius, how you feeling?
I'm feeling crazy, man. It's coming to an end for the season, right? Season finale.
Yes. Guys, this is our season finale, and we had to go out with a bang. You know, so we had to go with none other than the knockout champ himself. Like, since we finna go night-night, we had to bring on the knock-knock.
We got to go night-night. You got to bring him in. He's a problem. You definitely a problem on the field.
Yeah,
You're
man.
a problem on the podcast.
So it makes sense.
Let's
right?
do it.
Right,
It don't
makes
make sense.
But anyways, guys, I just want to say this last video is sponsored by Soul Runner. You know, make sure you go get your gear, go check it out, and let Soul Runner be a part of your lifestyle. With further ado, we got none other than that boy Jake Paul, the knockout king himself, coming onto the podcast. It needed to be said. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. Let's go. Thank you for having me.
Let's
guys.
do it.
Bro. Man, we shutting Miami down. Like,
We shutting Miami down, man. How you feeling, huh?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to be here. This is a dope store. Man, we just launched my new show, launched a new company, and just staying busy, man. You know the drill.
Man, well, you looking good, man. You looking real good. Well, we're going to jump right into it. I just got to know this, you know, because obviously everybody on the internet says that you come from Disney, right?
Yeah.
So I just got to jump into
I do.
this. How in the hell does a kid from Ohio go from Disney to being one of the most popular boxers in today's sport? Like, how does that happen?
You know, I would just say hard work, and it seems cliche, but that's really my number one attribute and what I test everything to. And you know, when I set my mind to something, I'm so passionate, I'm so driven, and nothing can stop me when I get going. You know, and if I set my mind to something, I'm gonna manifest it, I'm gonna create it, I'm gonna work every single day, sometimes twice a day to accomplish that. And you know, it all started with one fight. You know, and I just had to win one fight. And then it was another fight. And then it was another fight. But I always prepared to the best of my ability and surrounded myself with the best coaches. And it's one of the hardest sports in the world. You know, you're getting hit in the head, conditioning, getting hit in the body all the time. And I had to go through my licks and get my ass beat for the first couple of years by professionals.
Wow.
to get better eventually.
How many times did you get your ass beat by those professionals?
Bro, there was days where I would wake up, we would be sparring. Back then we sparred like 5 days a week, just because we had to get the experience in the ring. And man, I would come out of there every single session bloody nose, and I would dish some back, of
Right.
course, but
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
but
obviously
they would
you'd
get the
be
better.
asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
They would get the better of me for the most part, probably for about a year. But I was always sparring against guys who were better than me. You know, you don't want to be in there just beating people up because you're not going to get any better. If you're the smartest one in the room, then you're doing something wrong. You should always try to surround yourself with people who are better than you in each and every category. And that's what we did in the sport of boxing, is with professional boxers, bringing them in, and it worked, man. And eventually I just found my rhythm, and I wanted it more than a lot of these guys because there was more people who wanted to see me lose.
Right.
So
Right.
that just drove me to work harder, and eventually that really just paid off. And man, now it's to a point where I'm on a roll. I have a ton of experience under my belt. I've
Right.
fought in front of 20,000 people multiple times now, and that's the hardest part. You can spar, you can be good in the gym, but can you perform under the lights? I mean, I'm sure you know that, right?
Man, I'm trying to tell you, like, it's like different. Like going from practice
right.
into like going in front of 70,000 is different. I promise you, man, because each and every moment counts then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go in and lack in any area, because if you do, your opponent is clearly gonna kill you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Or
right,
like
right.
destroy you. So never want to lack in any areas.
No, and some people don't get that. It's like when the ball is in the air, game time moment, game on the line, you know, like can you catch that? And a lot of people can't. And going and fighting someone one-on-one in front of 20,000 people is like the craziest feeling in the world, because you don't have anyone else to fall back on. If you lose, it's all on you. If you win, it's all on you. And that just drives me to work extra hard, because I know what's on the line, and I know
Right.
where I came from. And I kind of want to show kids, you know, that anything is possible. Even if you just started something,
That's what I'm talking about.
even if you
man.
just started something, even if there's critics, even if everyone isn't believing in you, even if it should be impossible to do something, people say impossible, I say let's find out. And that's really how I live my life, honestly.
Wow. Well, Jake, I obviously got to say I'm a huge fan, but can we talk a little bit more about, you know, the sacrifice that it takes from, you know, being away from family, you know, having to spend those extra hours in the gym trying to get to like a certain level, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously, like, you trying to be great in this sport, right?
Yep.
You know, so I'm sure that you're like sacrificing time away from family members, sacrificing time away from things that you love to do. Now you got to put in so much time into this boxing that, you know what I'm saying? Tell us a little bit about that. Like, how hard is the work? How much time you got to sacrifice away from the loved ones and all of that?
Yeah, you have to be willing to sacrifice it all, like from food to hobbies. You know, you got to get rid of all the fun in your life, pretty much, damn near. And yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of friends along the way. The people who aren't really there supporting you, they're gonna trickle off. You have to be willing to sacrifice that your own peace and happiness, honestly, and your body as well. Like you're not gonna be able to walk some days. You're gonna be so sore mentally. You're gonna be drained. The pressure can eat you alive if you let it. But those are all the things you have to sacrifice and go through. But you know, if the goal and the reward of the goal is greater than the pain that you're going through the suffering, then it's worth it.
Right.
And so that's just always something that I remind myself. You know, I think it's Muhammad Ali's quote. It's like, suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion.
I think I seen that quote. A great quote, by the way.
For sure. So we know you the problem child, right? But we want to let's rewind and find out who Jake Paul was before you became the problem child, because we all know you got to start on Vine with social media. A lot of kids today, they see everything you got going on, but they don't know what the hell Vine was, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain how you just sat back one day and just like, all right, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna start with Vine. Just that mentality, that thought process when you first decided I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm gonna start on Vine. Like, what was that thought process and how did you get started?
Yeah, so I actually was playing football with my brother.
Slot receiver?
I was running back at the time. But we were on this like middle school team, and my dad got us a camera so that we could record our football games, so we could watch the tape back and see where we could have played better. And we were in Ohio. There's nothing to do in the summer.
Right.
We didn't have school, so we take the video camera, and this is right around when YouTube was first coming out. So we were like, let's make a YouTube video. And we just turned the cameras on, started doing dumb things like riding four-wheelers around in the backyard, making silly jokes. And we thought it was hilarious.
Right.
We edit this little video together and post it onto YouTube.
Right.
And just kept on doing that for fun. And what we really didn't realize what we were doing is developing a skill of making videos at a very young age, 10 years old, 12 years old.
Right.
And eventually the app Vine comes out 4 years later.
Right.
I'm like class clown sort of kid.
Right.
Don't really like pay attention in school. Like to just like have fun. I see Vine the first day it comes out, download it, and immediately just start making videos in my school. Like I stood up on the cafeteria table and just like started making noises, like banging trays together and stuff.
Wow.
And this
He
was
was,
this
he
was
was
like,
already a problem.
that's what I'm saying. I've always been the problem child. That's really where it comes from. But I've always just never gave a fuck. And this was like, back when internet content wasn't a thing. So
Right.
that was like the first time people were posting anything. So you could do
Right.
something as stupid as standing on a cafeteria table and go viral.
Right.
And that's really what happened. Before you know it, went viral a couple weeks later. And me and my brother both got 5,000 followers. And we were like, oh my gosh, this is insane. There's only 1,000 people in our high school.
Right.
So we were like, this is insane.
Right.
And since that day, have literally just kept on making videos nonstop and just continued to move on and grow our brands, whether that be in acting or business, Disney Channel, YouTube, all the things.
Why you smile like
So-
that when he said Disney Channel?
So would you say? Would you say you are the soldier boy of Vine?
Man, you could definitely say that for sure.
Because you the first. You
I
sound
did-
like you're the first one to do it.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did a bunch of things first on that app for sure. I would say even more so the soldier boy of YouTube. I was one of the ones who innovated daily vlogging,
Right.
and really made that a thing, and started so many trends. Like a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but it's like the biggest YouTuber today
PewDiePie.
was a fan, Beast.
Oh, Mr. Beast.
Yeah, like
oh yeah, he has a
me and my
crazy-
brother inspired Mr. Beast to become who he is. Like a lot of his first videos are him talking about like saying it's every day, bro, 100,000 times, saying Logan Paul 100,000 times. And so our impact that we had on YouTube is forever cemented. And
Sound like y'all got a bromance right there. He
Yeah,
said
he
your
did.
name 100,000 times.
yeah, because he knew that it would go viral because we were the biggest on YouTube.
Okay.
And at the time, he was growing his channel and like was a fan of ours, inspired by our videos and such, and it worked, And now he's way better than us at YouTube. Like we're nowhere near as good as Mr. Beast, but what I'm saying is we inspired the next generation of creators that came up
That's what it's all
underneath
about.
us, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do, and that's what I'm trying to do in the sport of boxing. I hope one day a kid comes up to me and is like, yo, I started boxing because of you, and I hope they're like the next big thing in the sport, and I hope I was the reason that they started boxing.
Right.
For me, that would be the most fulfilling thing, because the money's cool, the fame, the glory, all of that stuff is great, but for me, I just like making a difference, honestly.
Well, since we on the topic of boxing, let's go ahead and jump right into that chapter. I mean, I know for me, how does it feel to go play a crazy wild away game? How does it feel for you, man, when you walking, down to the boxing ring, music playing, like is the crowd booing you? Like, how do you react to being the bad guy of the sport? Because obviously, I mean, I feel like everybody thinks you're the bad guy. Like you are literally the kid who came in, bought like a bunch of eyes to the sport. I mean, it was a lot of eyes on the sport, but you came in and now you're making a lot of money, and you're also, bringing like a more media attention to the sport. Do you feel like people look at you as the killmonger of the sport, or what?
Yeah, no, I think definitely some people treat me as like, the heel. They treat me as the villain, or I'm like the new guy on the block or whatever. But then I think a lot of people, the Mike Tysons, Evander Holyfields, they see what I'm doing for the sport, and they're so appreciative of it, and they're so supportive of it. I think there's a lot of people and a lot of boxers who are jealous because they seen how much money I made very early on, that they see how big my fights are very early on, and they think that should be them. And so there's that feeling, and that's where the shit talk comes from.
But look, you got to think about it like this though. You got this fighter, right? He grew up fighting his whole life. Then he see you just waltz on in, and you just steal the spotlight that quick.
Right.
But I also worked my whole entire life too as an athlete. I worked as a football player. I worked as a wrestler. I had over 250 wrestling matches. I was in the gym every single day doing my miles before school, 5 a.m. It's not like I just decided to do this. I put in my hours too.
Right.
And not only did I put in my hours on the athletic side of things, I put in my hours as entertainer. I put in my hours with content. I grew my brand. I made a video every single day, a 20-minute video, highly produced every single day for 800 days straight. And so people can say like, oh, well, he just came in and took all of it. No, like I had to work for every dollar I've ever made. Nothing was handed to me. This all stemmed from my mind and my heart. I created everything from my mind and heart. 800 video ideas. Where do they come from? Google? No. I come up with 800 video ideas that become the #1 vlog channel ever. So it's like I created that, and I was in the gym every single day as the young kid. So these boxers who are pissed off, like, oh, he just came in and took it.
Yeah.
No, I get why they think that.
I get why they say it.
Yeah, I get why they think that, but it's just not the case. And again, all I've tried to do is bring eyeballs to the sport. I've never tried to take away from the sport. I'm bringing in a new audience. I'm promoting other fighters. Amanda Serrano, Most Valuable Promotions, Ashton Silva. I'm promoting fights that aren't even mine. I'm telling my fans to go watch them. And I don't get anything out of that, but I'm building them up. I'm talking about other fighters all the time. So, and in interviews, and that's what I've really just tried to bring a different look to the sport. And I think a lot of people look at me as the bad guy, but I think they'll see my intentions over time, and that's all I could really do. And my goal is to become the light heavyweight champion of the world. And so at that point in time, if I'm able to accomplish that goal, which I personally think I will be able to, people will have no choice but to be like, all right, he really took this seriously and became the champion of the world. Like, what are they gonna say?
They can't say nothing. But I got one more question for you. Would you want to be handcuffed too?
There you go. It comes full circle.
What's up? Would you want to be handcuffed to Caitlyn Jenner for a chance to be light heavyweight champion
For sure. I would love to be.
for 24 hours, butt naked in some tube socks?
Well, butt naked, I mean, I would.
He don't know what to say. It's the tube socks that's throwing you off.
It was the tube socks. No, but I actually respect.
You got on tube socks right now?
I respect Caitlyn Jenner a lot, and I'm actually a fan of Caitlyn and Bruce Jenner. Like, when you watch her story, it's actually like super inspiring. So I would be down, honestly. And to me, anything to accomplish the goal of becoming light heavyweight champion, whatever I gotta do, man.
Anything?
You
might want to put a limit on that. Yeah. Let's put a limit on
everything.
So we definitely want to dive into every fight. Well, not every fight, but some of your biggest fights. 'Cause I definitely got to know what it sounded like when Nate Robinson was assed up on the mat. But
I'm gonna tell you right now, he ain't gonna do that to no NFL player.
oh shit.
But we can go ahead, continue on.
We'll get back to that. But so do you think the issue that, individuals in boxing who's been boxing 20, 30 years, not even them, just their promotional teams, have with you is the fact that you don't have to sign to I don't know if I should say that, a top rank Mayweather Promotions, and that you can actually take your fan base and sell out of Madison Square Garden for a boxing event. Do you really think that's the underlying issue? It's not about you disrespecting the sport. It's about money.
It's the old guard
Right.
It's the old gatekeepers
Right.
who are no longer in charge. And it's guys like Eddie Hearn, right, who's been promoting his whole entire life. He inherited his dad's company, and I came in, I'm a bigger promoter than him in 2 years.
Right.
To him, that's scary, and he's going to try to do everything he can to discredit me, to take away my platform, to stop boxing fans from respecting what I'm doing. And yeah, it goes, you know, we were saying even with music labels,
Right.
if there's an independent artist, they're going to do everything they can to show the rest of the world
Right.
that independent artist isn't going to make it. But I am showing boxers, and I hope to show boxers that you shouldn't rely on your promoter
Right.
to promote you. You
Right.
should get active on social media. You should build a brand for yourself. You should be posting on YouTube. You should be posting on TikTok. You should be creating content, and that's how you're gonna grow your fan base. And really, the only boxer who's done a great job at that is like Ryan Garcia.
Right.
Yeah, he does a great job
yeah.
on social media.
So, you know, that's the new way. And the other promoters and the big establishments in boxing, I think, definitely don't want me to succeed.
Right.
They scared of you, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you
They split this-
disrupting the status quo, right? It's money that can't go into their pocket. But I got to follow up on that, and I'll be hunted. It needed to be said. I did not root for you. At the beginning, he knows it. I did not root. It was
Yeah, bro.
You was like, who the hell? I knew who you were. It was like, all right, man, because I love boxing. It's like, all right, shit. He's going in there. He's boxing.
An athlete.
But it's like that's before. Just like anybody else, that's before you like you said, judge a book by its cover. Then you get to see the hard work.
That's way before.
that you actually dedicate.
That's way before
to
I
this.
knew he was a wrestler. I
Yeah,
knew he was
right,
a
right,
football
right.
player. Come on,
Right.
Oh,
That's it.
100%. No, and I get that. And then people, you have to earn their respect. And I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not
Right.
afraid to go in there and risk it all just
Right.
to gain a fan and to be
Right.
like, oh, I was wrong about that kid. And
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. And so I totally get that, man. And
It's working.
Yeah.
I think it's working because, like you said, a lot of people. You said everybody like, man, Jake finna get knocked out.
But
After the fight, we saw Nate
But-
assed up. It was like, oh,
Once
so
we
nah,
seen-
he can fight.
Once we seen Nate hit the ground 2 times,
Right.
it was over with, man.
Right,
It was
right,
over
right,
with. But
right.
we need to expand more, I feel like, on Disney. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we didn't talk about Disney enough. Could you tell us about your experience with Disney? Because I always wanted to be on Disney too, though.
Yeah, no,
I wanted to draw the little Mickey Mouse.
I
in.
did it. I did a hi, I'm Jake Paul. You're watching Disney Channel, and it was a dream come true. And
Can you do it real quick?
yeah, where's the hi, I'm Jake Paul. Hi, I'm Jake Paul. You're watching Disney Channel. At my
He's
next,
back.
my next, I'm back, bitches. Mickey Mouse, where you at? But my next knockout celebration, I'm gonna be like, hi, I'm Jake Paul, and you're watching the Knockout Channel.
I like
But
it.
Whoa.
I like it.
But
I like it.
man, it was a dream come true.
Right.
And it's such a big establishment. And at the time, I was just a Viner with this dream of becoming, a bigger entertainer.
Right.
Right.
And so there wasn't really much conviction. I was in LA, had no idea what I was doing. I was doing auditions and stuff, but I was just getting told no, audition after audition. Landed one role, then no. And I had to go to like 100 auditions, and then finally, boom, booked a big role on Disney, and it just reaffirmed my belief in myself as to like I'm actually a good entertainer and actor. And that moment definitely like changed my life because I was the first ever influencer to be booked in a real movie or TV show.
Wow.
And it just gave legitimacy to everything that I was doing. And working with Disney, I got to see how a big multi-billion-dollar company functions and how they have hundreds of employees and how they run their productions. And it was just really cool to see their whole organization. And everyone there was actually like such a pleasure to work with. And man, we did like 40 episodes. And so I got to really learn how to act and establish my acting career and become more comfortable in front of the cameras. So yeah, man, I would.
So did they give you like a lifetime Disney pass? When you go to Orlando, you always can get in Disney World, huh?
What's funny is they actually don't give you that many tickets. You get like 4 tickets a year or some shit, which is kind of cheap. Like
Disney World?
if you think about it, like
Yeah.
we're literally the Disney
Yeah,
stars,
right.
and we only get like 4 tickets, and we get a tour guide, but
Right.
you only can do that once a year. So it was kind of bullshit, honestly.
Now
But
that the character you played, obviously the show Bizarre Bar, right?
yep.
That was kind of who you already were on YouTube and Vine, right? So was there a big transition, or better yet, the booking agents, did they already know of your body of work that you brought to the show and then say, hey, we got the great role for this guy.
Yep.
It's made for you. Here you go, Jake.
No, exactly. The stars aligned, and I just understood the character so much better than anyone else because that's exactly what I was doing on a daily basis.
Right.
And there was a little, there's like a twist, obviously, like with the energy and there's certain things the character did, but it was definitely a stars aligning moment. And man, it's just funny to think like where everything's gone since then. It's only been like a couple of 4 years now.
Right.
And it's like how did it go from Disney Channel to professional boxer? But everything happens for a reason, and man, I think it was a great experience. And I remember calling my parents and telling them I got the role, and
it was turned up.
they couldn't believe it. Like that was such a surreal moment. So it made me want to chase and to work harder for more moments like that, for sure.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna dive back into boxing.
Yeah.
Your last fight got canceled, right?
Yep,
I mean, we could say, could you dive in a bit more and tell us what happened? What was the issue? Because, I mean, clearly, I thought this fight was gonna happen.
Yep.
Your last 2 fights didn't happen with what's his name? Tommy.
Yes.
Fury.
Yep, Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury, and now what's the dude named Hassan?
Robin Jr.
Yeah, so Tommy pulled out because he couldn't get a visa, but we don't know if he even actually went to the airport because he's from the UK.
His brother, the Gypsy King?
Yeah.
And he couldn't get a visa?
That's his
That's
brother?
what I'm saying. No, and then we
All
had
right. Yeah.
we
That's
had
his brother, older brother, right?
Yeah, Tyson Fury's the older brother.
Oh, wow.
So we had politicians ready to get him the visa, and he went silent.
He didn't want no problem.
No, I had people like ready to get him in. Like I'm friends with all types of people in the government, and we had people ready to get him in, and he just didn't respond.
He didn't want to box.
Went ghost. He didn't want to box.
He was scared.
And so, boom, I'm like, all right, fine, we'll get a replacement. I'll save the event. We'll find a replacement. I get this guy Hassim, and basically since day one, he was super flaky. He was calling one of my coaches being like, I don't know if I should do this fight. He was calling people around Vegas saying, I don't know if you should do this fight because we've sparred before.
Right.
That was 2 years ago when I wasn't good, nearly as good as I am now.
Right.
And he knew what happened in that sparring session. I beat his ass. And, man, I think, just like Tommy Fury, let the pressure get to him. And I think he was contemplating, like, oh, what happens if I get knocked out by this kid?
Exactly. He gotta live with those consequences, dog. Like you could ruin his career after that.
Right.
But he gonna have a big payday though.
Exactly. No, and I think the pressure caught up to him, and he really at the end of the day just didn't want to take that risk.
Right.
And so his plan was to come in weighing 215 pounds, which is not the agreed upon weight, and he basically was going to try to fight me being heavier because he didn't want to cut the weight. And so we told him, fuck off. You don't want to make the weight? Then we're not going to fight you because we can't let opponents dictate what they want to weigh. We can't let opponents do whatever they want to do. Like, we're the money. We're paying you. We're the A-side. We're giving you this opportunity. If you agree to the weight and you sign the contract, that's the weight you're showing up at. If not, you can fuck off.
So you saying that he signed the contract and showed up at 215?
Yeah, he signed a contract to weigh 200, and then eventually, since he wasn't cutting the weight the proper way, the commission was like, all right, this is not safe to do it at 200. We have to do it at 205. And so I could have canceled the fight, but I was like, whatever, I'll do it at 205. And then he was like, nope, I'm not coming in at 205. I'm going to come in weighing 215 pounds. And his promoter was the one who basically was like, yeah, this guy is not going to come in on weight. And he, we have the text. I leaked the text messages in my show and stuff, but his promoter was texting my manager like, yeah,
That's crazy.
He's basically like trying to scam you guys, not coming at the weight. And so we were like, all right, you're not going to come in at the weight, then fuck you. Because we can't set a precedent where moving forward, our opponents can
So the
do
weight
whatever
is a
they
big
want.
thing. Is a weight is a big thing in boxing. Like
100%. And it makes a massive difference. That's why there's a weight class 105 pounds, 110, 115, 120. Like, there are so many weight classes just a couple of pounds away from each other because it makes that big of a difference.
Wow.
It's night and day.
Sound like he was just gonna come in 215, super heavy. Cause what were y'all supposed to fight at?
We're originally, he
205,
signed the
200,
contract 200.
He said
then
200.
205.
Yeah.
So he can just pretty much lean on your tire, you're out.
Exactly.
Take away all your
Yeah.
energy.
Exactly.
Now the biggest question, because Nate Robinson is a little dude, how the hell did that fight come about? Like, because I mean, it went from NBA player, you're doing your thing in professional fighting, and then Nate Robinson just pops up in the ring.
Now he went from NBA player to dude who work at Target
Go ahead,
and
sir.
wrestling to
The
Tyron Woodley.
Oh yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
Tyron
yeah,
Woodley
yeah, yeah,
again,
yeah,
to
yeah.
here we are today.
Yeah.
You forgot about Ben
Yeah.
Askren.
That's what I'm talking about. The Target dude.
He was working at Target.
No, Ben
Yeah.
Askren work at Target.
He was working at Target, or you
Well, he
signed
does-
to Target after
he
you
does
knocked him
now, I
out?
think.
Bro, like
You saw him at
We
Target.
don't know what he's up
no.
to now.
You see
Oh.
him after the fight though. After he knocked him out, he was cheesing on the
Yeah,
way to the
yeah,
locker.
yeah.
He's
He was
like,
going
"Damn,
to
I
Target
just
with a
made a
check.
bag."
I just
Yeah,
made
he's
a
going to
bag.
Target with his check.
Yeah.
So how did it come about?
So
with
Nate Robinson,
though?
Nate Robinson actually called me out and said, "Yo, Jake, I've been boxing my whole career just for conditioning. You haven't fought a real athlete yet. Fight me. This will be the biggest opportunity and biggest moment of your life if you could beat me." And he said that on a TMZ interview. I seen it and I was like, all right, like let's run it, no problem. And so going into the fight, I was the underdog, which a lot
Right.
of people don't remember.
Right.
And everyone thought he was gonna win because of his accolades and
Yeah.
being the superb athlete. And at the time, I was still just known as the YouTuber who was like trying to box, but people didn't know I had knockout power and all that. So
Yeah, he got that. He got that.
Let me say this real quick. And I'm gonna look at the camera. People have to understand there's a difference between street fighting and boxing.
Yep.
I don't think Nate truly understood
I don't
that.
think he understood the assignment.
He definitely dropped the ball on that. But typical street fight, 45 seconds, maybe.
Yep.
Unless you got big KO, your security guard putting somebody to sleep. But it's a difference, and I think just watching the film, watching him box, I think he thought he was in a street fight when
Yeah,
he rushed you.
definitely.
Then behind the ear, equilibrium off, he
No,
sleep.
for sure. He was wild. Like, and that's why it took
Yeah.
me. I would have even knocked him out sooner, but I was getting his timing because I was like, "Yo, this guy, this
Right.
guy's everywhere." I had
Yeah.
to like judge where he was going,
Right.
Because he didn't really have, like
He just moving around.
it
Yeah.
felt like a street fight, literally.
Yeah.
Like exactly like what you're saying.
Because he rushed you like,
But I have to give him credit though because you could practice in the gym and like the sparring and
Yeah.
you could do the technique the proper
Yeah.
way. And it's like we said earlier in the episode, when you get in there, it's like, oh shit, I'm fighting for my life.
Yep.
And that natural fight instinct starts to come
Right.
out. And so it's easy to throw the skill out the window. And
Yeah.
I think until you're a really experienced boxer to stay like super calm
Yeah, be
in the
patient in
moment
that bit, boy.
and to be patient, yeah.
because he kind of disappeared. Like, nothing against Nate, but like, I think, Nate, if you watching this, I think he has to understand.
I seen him at the Drew League like 2 weeks, like a week ago. I think he popped out somewhere.
Yeah, he did what a lot of people, heavyweights essentially, have been afraid to do with you. He came in at 190, maybe 190. He's 5'9", 5'10", somewhere around
Right.
there, and he actually got in the ring. And like you said, it takes a lot to prepare, and then you make your way to the ring. You get in the ring. It's no more sparring. It's me and this
It's
guy.
mano a mano,
That's
face to
it.
face.
Exactly.
Like,
And you on
we ain't
your
looking
own.
at nobody else.
And
Right.
that's why I give him credit because,
Right.
in my opinion, Nate Robinson has more balls than Tommy Fury and Hasim Rahman Jr.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to get into the ring with me. So, he actually had the balls and he was a man
Just
of
say,
his word.
bro. All you gotta say is Nate Robinson is a B.
Is it
You
what?
say he a B?
What
Nate Robinson a B?
What'd you say?
No, he had balls.
Oh, he has balls.
Yeah, I said he had
Nate
balls.
Robinson, what he's essentially saying, which camera am I looking at? Nate Robinson, what he's essentially saying is that you're a fucking dumbass for stepping in the ring with him. Tommy Fury and Hasim, you're very smart.
Very smart.
But this guy has knockout power.
No, we like my brother actually said it and was like, yeah, man, they may look dumb now, they may look scared right now, but that's actually probably better for them than getting knocked out.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not finna get
No, man. No, you got to try. You gotta try.
I mean, if it's me and you sitting here talking about them, yeah, they should try.
I mean,
think
but
y'all
you
should
done
try.
signed the contract.
That's gonna give us
You
something
done
to watch.
so-called started training, and then when you get closer and closer, it's like you said, text like, yeah, I don't know if we should be doing this.
That's
To me,
how-
that's a cop
The
out.
part I don't get is they both were making 10 times more money, 12 times technically more money than they have ever made.
Wow, so they would have made more money than
12
they.
times.
I got a
so
question.
Look, if
How
I
much
if
were they making?
so Tommy would have made like around 2 mil.
You can knock me out,
And
bro.
then
Set it up. Knock me out. I'll take it. Come
Uh,
on, man.
And then Hasim was mid 6 figures. But
Wow.
if someone offered me, I don't give a fuck who it was, 12 times more than I ever got paid right now.
I'm gonna last. I'm gonna at least
Bro,
get it
I'm
in last.
fighting.
I'ma run.
Bro, I can retire for the rest of my life and have everything I've ever wanted. Like I could
Yeah.
buy
They
18
want-
mansions, bro. Like
They want their career though, bro.
yeah, but it's like at the end of the day, what are they gonna do for their families now?
But check this out though. But as a man, like think about this. I hear what you're saying, retire and all of this. When you have a son, your son gonna grow up and get on YouTube and say, "Dad, you got knocked out by Jake Paul."
You can't put
That's
me,
about
you can't punish
parenting
me.
though. Like, okay, son, I tried to do the impossible. I tried the hardest. I wasn't afraid to fail, and neither should you be afraid to fail, son.
Sounds
I
good.
ain't gonna cap. And
Sounds
if that's my daddy that's knocked out, I don't care. I'm not hearing none of that. I'm roasting.
You disrespect.
But I mean, at the end of the day, though, he could show his son, Hasim Rahman Jr. can show, well, yeah, look, I got knocked out here, but I knocked out these other 9 guys. You know,
not the same. Not the same. But
Not
no.
the same.
I mean, I guess I just think about it differently.
So I got a better question for you. So your first fight ever with Nate Robinson, if you'd have got knocked out, if roles were reversed, do you think you would be here right now? Do you think
Absolutely.
you still
No.
be in the same spot?
No, no, the butterfly effect is crazy. You know, every little moment, every day, every second of your life, you know, determines the rest of it. And those are massive moments that changed my life forever.
Yeah.
You know, and who knows where I would be, and you know, who knows what the future holds. You know, anything can happen. I just show up every day and do my part. Right. I put in the work. I do the best I possibly can every single day, and I'm at peace knowing that the universe will handle the rest, and whatever's destined to happen is gonna happen.
Amen, brother.
I know, right? Ben Askren. What was that about? Like, I get what it was about, but what was that about?
So, I
like, he
mean-
came into the ring and like mentally, like, where were you?
I think people still thought, and he and the MMA world, I think, still thought it would be an easy fight.
Right.
Because at the time it was like, oh yeah, well you beat a basketball player, but you still haven't beat a real fighter.
Right.
So fight a real fighter, and that's where Ben Askren came in, and he was a big name, and I mean we saw what happened obviously, but I think he underestimated me.
Right.
I think just like Tyron Woodley, I think underestimated me, and I think just like moving forward, a lot of my opponents will underestimate me. I don't think. And maybe it's changed now, but I don't think people are preparing for me the proper way that they should, for whatever reason. I don't know where it
as a
comes
joke,
from.
probably.
Yeah.
They're probably taking them as a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like I'm
Grinding.
going ham,
Right.
crazy.
I can see it, man. Like you got that football player's mindset, dog. Like you non-stop. You seem like you're gonna give 110 everything that you do, dog. And you know, I'm all about hard work and dedication. And your resume speaks for itself, dog.
Thank you.
I really don't gotta say nothing, man.
I'm excited to pull up to the training camp. They're letting me put on the pads.
Jake Paul coming to practice, man,
I'm coming
on
to the
Wednesday.
Dolphins training camp.
And he gonna dress up as a receiver. He gonna go through practice with us the whole day.
Slot.
Yeah, he gonna be a slot.
He's stuck.
I'm gonna see what it's like, man. I feel like it's way harder than it looks, just like every other sport. But I'm excited.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the hardest thing is probably just being in the sun. That's it.
In the sun?
Yeah, just being in the sun, like just standing there.
Bro.
Because when you're running, it's easy.
Right.
But when you just standing there and the sun just beaming on you, be like, man, why am I standing out
When
here?
I'm in Puerto Rico, the humidity is crazy. This last camp, our AC broke in the gym. is like 90 degrees.
Oh God.
In the sparring,
You still in
you're
the
just
training.
burning from the inside out.
Right.
It's like the hardest thing in the world. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, man. So, man, I really appreciate you coming on this show. But I got one final question. What's next for Jake Paul? Like any business ventures? Like what's going on with Jake Paul? What's next for Jake Paul? Like what should we expect from him? Like
Yeah.
a fight?
Yep.
What kind of big investments you got going, or what's going on with Jake Paul?
Yeah, so I got a fight hopefully coming up in October. My opponent has the contract. It's a big name, so
You gonna tell us who the name is?
I can't leak it
Floyd
yet.
Mayweather.
I can't leak it yet.
Oh.
But hopefully they sign, they have it. We agreed to all their terms. So, if they don't sign, then it's just another duck. But that's coming up in October. And then this past week I launched my new company that I've been working on for years. It's called Better. It's a sports betting company. And it also has a media branch. And so we're looking to innovate the game in sports betting. And we're specifically focused on micro betting. Which is like in-game betting on plays, drives, players, whether it's going to be a first down or not, run or pass.
This video is not sponsored by that, so don't get into that.
Nah, yes. But I got this shit tatted on
I
my
see it. You
leg.
got it. Yeah, you got it.
It means the world to me, and it's my baby, and we just have an amazing team, and that's where my show also comes from. Is like
Right.
It's two parts. It's sports media, like sort of like ESPN. That's where my show comes from, and yeah, just grinding on that, man. And at the end of the day, working hard, hanging out with my family, and just grinding every single day.
What's your issue with the current media, right? Like not necessarily the ESPN, but some of the hosts, like a Stephen A.
There's no issue. I mean, like I respect them.
Right.
I respect the shit out of them. I grew up watching them.
Right.
But
Right.
who is the next generation of sports fans gonna grow up watching?
Right.
And that's what I want to create.
Right.
And really, there's no sports show host under the age of 40 that's doing it on a major level. Like you guys have this show, which I'm stoked about. When you launched this, I was like, this is sick. I think Draymond Green's
Right.
got his thing going
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah.
And then it's like, who else? Like I don't really know.
I believe more and more athletes should definitely get involved in,
100%.
building up, their fan bases and just, giving that player's perspective or athlete's perspective, is like huge, for yourself, because that way, I feel like you control the narrative, you control everything about the whole situation. So I feel
Right.
like more athletes should do it. Definitely.
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. So Jake, and I think this one final. What would you want to say to the kids and the next generation of I don't even want to say social media stars, YouTubers, or influencers, because you've done and accomplished so much. We can say actor,
Yep.
rapper, professional boxer.
You're a rapper?
Oh yeah. What would be your message to those kids who sometimes they get told, get from behind the computer, get from behind the camera, like stop doing this, go this way, go get a college degree, go do this, go do that. What would your message be to those kids?
I would say find your passion and become obsessed with it. Pursue it relentlessly, and don't even listen to your parents or your teachers who are saying you have to follow a certain path to become successful or to make money. Don't make your life about making money. Make your life about becoming great at something, and the money will come. Find your passion, become obsessed with it. Surround yourself with like-minded people, because a lot of times your friends can be the ones that drag you down or the ones that can get you in trouble. Surround yourself, cut all the bullshit out of your life. And put your phone down. Stop watching TikToks. Make the TikToks. Grow your brand. Grow yourself. Grow your personality. Put down. Set screen limits on your phone and just fucking work out every day. Be healthy. Eat healthy. And think healthily. And you're gonna be successful in love, laughter, and peace. And that's really all that matters. So that's the message.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man, Jake Paul, that's well said by the man, Jake Paul himself,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
To me, it sounds like you a Pisces, dog. Like, that was well spoken right there.
I'm a Capricorn.
Are you a Capricorn?
Yeah, you believe in zodiac?
I mean, somewhat, man,
Yeah.
depending on the situation. But anyways, man, I just want to say, Jake Paul, thank you so much
Yes,
for coming.
thank you.
Thank
On
you,
to it needed to be said, man. And clearly you had a lot of shit that needed to be said, man. So with that
yeah.
being said, Julius, if you got anything left, I ain't got nothing else to say, man. 'Cause
I ain't
this-
got nothing left to say except, man, just keep doing your thing. You said, must be a Capricorn. I was gonna say I thought it was a shrooms talking. He kept saying peace, love, and happiness, but I know you're drug free. But no,
I take hella shrooms. Nah, the fuck.
keep doing what you're doing, man. I know you're a disruptor. I love it. Keep disrupting the status quo. Keep showing people that it's a different way to success
Bro, keep
as
impacting.
opposed to the traditional
Impacting
road.
is
Yeah, keep
huge, bro.
impacting.
Keep serving your purpose, dog.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Because
appreciate
everybody
you
has a
guys.
purpose in life, dog. Like God set us out on all these individual missions.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a purpose. I feel like I'm serving my purpose, Julius serving his, and you serving yours.
Sure.
Impacting kids and knocking people out. I guess, so if you like,
That's it.
It goes together.
it goes together. So with that being said, man, this is our season finale. We had to bring the knockout champ himself onto the podcast. It needed to be said. Jake Paul, we out, man.
We out.
Keeping it cold, unlocking the door with the holy key. You supposed to be this close to me.